Hey everyone, welcome to the latest devlog for Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown. I'm Greg, the lead game designer at Zoogaloo.
And I'm Kat, the lead narrative designer at Zoogaloo.
So yeah, just to review, Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown is a fantasy medieval city building game where every decision that you make leads to a benevolent or tyrannical path, and you can play it either cooperatively, competitively, or solo.
So the time has finally come for Thrive's closed beta, and we're so excited to be sharing this moment with everyone. And today we're here to help you prepare for your journey into the land of Nissamora.
So I'm going to go through the start of the game here, and we'll go right from the start so everyone can see kind of the ins and outs of what you do right when you play. So at the menu, you can obviously select most normal things, single player, multiplayer. There's some settings you can go through. I'm going to pick a single player game here. This is kind of our new map that we put down, so you can select your different provinces. They're all very similar. Some are a little bit easier than others. Some are kind of like the position you'll be. Some are closer to the Wormaxa in the middle here. That is kind of the main enemy kingdom, so you might have harder difficulties. And some are closer to the ocean side, which has its own unique benefits, and some are closer to the mountain side, which has its own unique benefits. So you kind of just have to figure out which kind of method you want to play, and where your friends or enemies might pick as well. So I'll just select this province here to start. You can change your color or flags, all that kind of stuff. We have these loading screens here that give you a little bit of a tips at the start that will help you, if you have any questions or the usual kind of stuff to give you advice on the game. It shouldn't take too long to load here.
Yeah. There it goes.
And when you play multiplayer, it actually will show you the different players that you're loading in with, and will show you their little load bars so you know the progress of them as well.
Yeah, some of us were actually, when we were playtesting, we were saying it's like a mini game almost. You can see your friends and
Yeah.
who's loading faster, so it's kind of fun. So this screen here is the first screen you'll see once the game loads on a new game. And it's setting the tone for basically what your journey has been before as ruler and where you are now, starting a new kingdom in a new land. And these choices at the bottom are to give you a little intro to the fact that you will be making a lot of decisions in the game, and it's setting the tone of your rule essentially. So there's three of them. There's where wisdom is grown, little fear remains. We rise with vigilance, scarred but unbroken. And prosperity's pursuit ensures a bountiful future. So you as a player get to determine kind of what you feel suits how you want to rule. So we'll see what Greg thinks about how he wants to rule.
Let's go with some wisdom.
Nice.
And then at the start, you can either select tutorial or skip the tutorial. And since I will be showing you how to play the game anyways, I'm just going to skip the tutorial.
You're our
you have
tutorial
initial...
today.
Yeah. I am the tutorial.
Yeah.
The caravan has some people and some resources on it that you need to start your kingdom. I'm just going to move him over here to an open area. I'm going to deploy him. So now I can build items. You can start this province with a keep and other provinces with a trading hut. So I'll place down my keep here initially. The next thing you want to do is start building your city. So I'm going to put down a road. It's asking me for a road out front here. I already know since I've played the game that it's going to put down its own road as the keep, but I'm just going to build off of that road. The next thing I'm going to do is put down stockpile here. So, because that's where resources have to be delivered to. And then I'm going to set my camps. So here's a logging camp to collect some wood in the area, and a stone camp or warrior camp to collect the stone. And then I'm just going to speed up time here so we don't have to wait too long. And as you can see, we added some new cool animations that they're actually kind of building the area out, depending on what structures you're using. The next thing you'll need are some houses for the people. So I'm going to build some thatch houses, some farmer houses to house the farmers. Make sure they're all happy.
Oh, important thing to note too. I know, Greg, you're probably going to dive into it, but like radiuses are super important, like the area of influence in our game.
Right.
Every building has that, and you really want to make sure, especially even with those camp flags, sometimes if you're a little too far away, you will not be able to deliver it to stock. I've had that so many times. I'm terrible
Yeah.
for it. So make sure that you are close enough that you'll actually get your goods to the stockpile so that you'll be able to build your houses. Because it's not very
Right.
fun when you're waiting and you're going, I don't know why I'm not getting anything.
Yeah, the camps let you kind of place them anywhere in the map, and they'll. I mean, it's just about
They look
speed
for the
and
nearest
how.
one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the camps don't have to be within a radius, but like all the buildings that the stockpile will deliver to, they need to
Yeah.
be within the radius. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for future, anything that makes a production object will have to be within the radius to be able to deliver to it as well. So now we're getting some houses. What? Go ahead.
Stockpiles? Oh, sorry, it's okay. Stockpiles are universal, or is it just the traders' huts? Stockpiles are universal too, right?
Yes.
Or no? Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So all stockpiles in one province and all food markets in the same province will share inventory.
Yeah.
So you don't have to move goods from one stockpile or one food market to another. They'll share the inventory, so you can have your farming area over in one area and then your town in another, and you can easily move goods between them. I'm going to build a couple more houses here and a well, because I know if you look at the house here for the farmers, it kind of shows what they're looking for right away, and they're looking for a food market, a well, and some firewood. So I'm going to try to complete those tasks here right away. I like things to line up, so I'm going to make it. Oh, and I already messed it up here. And if you delete a building
That's
right away
okay.
before it's got items delivered to it, it will delete right away. So that's nice.
It's pretty easy to do that now. If anyone has ever seen any of the earlier builds at some of the conferences we've been at, was not as easy to do. Now it's much smoother to remove buildings, so it's very nice. Those little hiccups.
Yeah, I'm just building my roads because the townspeople like to have roads, and makes them a little bit faster and helps her with deliveries. And then I know the next thing they were looking for was a wood chopper, so I'm going to place down a wood chopper here. I'll put him right here.
Get that sweet firewood to keep them warm.
Yeah. Actually, no. I will go here. And you can see all my people moving, and they're moving all the resources around. If in some instances you see things that are not working, and like, oh, why is not somebody there, or why aren't they working that building? It could be because you don't have enough people to work all the jobs. So we have a jobs menu here, and as you can see, it's populated by all the people, and the lower you are down the list, the less priority you have. So even right now, I just have one person working at the food stores, which is enough to at least get some deliveries made. I mean, I don't have a lot of houses, so that should be enough. But just say, like, I'm collecting, a lot of logs and stone right now. So I'm going to move the quarry camp down here, and that will level out here so that there'll be more people for the food. And I'll move my logging camp down a bit too, because I'm cutting lots of those. And with that, I need the next thing. I guess it's not unlocked yet. Once I get to 25 farmers, which to get more people in our game, you basically just need to place down more houses. So I'm going to place down a lot of houses, so I can start getting some people moving in here.
Now, how does happiness factor in again? Because I know we made some adjustments for the beta, but we also recently kind of revamped it a bit as well, right? So how does happiness function? Because I think that's something players will want to know.
Right. So let me just put down one more road here.
Yeah, no worries. Just came to my mind now. Your happy face is right now very happy, mostly. 75 is good.
Oh, yeah, they're super happy. Well, right at the start of the game, too, they don't want very many things. So as you unlock more people, more things will unlock that they want. So later on in the game, when you place down new buildings, they're going to want many more things, and it's going to make them a little bit harder to make happy, which is kind of what you want. There is more things than just the resources that, like, these items that they're asking for are a portion of what they're looking for to make them happy. You can see just above here what's affecting their happiness too, if there's pluses and minuses that you're not seeing more than this. So right now, territory is spotless, so I don't have very many production buildings that are polluting the province. So it's considered clean, so they're happy about that. Their tax rate, which is set at default 5%, they're happy about that. And later on, you can build a vault and you can alter that to make them more happy or less happy and collect more or less money. And then there is no rubbled buildings. So with fire and with fires or combat, some people can come in and destroy buildings, or fire can leave buildings rubbled, and those would actually make your province a little bit less attractive, and people will get a little bit of unhappy bonus to that.
All right. I guess I can talk about events now because it popped up a little sooner than I thought it would, but that's cool. So with events in Thrive, you're always going to get that little pop-up you might have seen there quickly, the little circle with the tree. And then it's going to lead you into an introduction for the event. So this is the first one players will encounter. It's called Settling In. It introduces you to the Curia. There are 3 advisors that will give you some suggestions. They'll also talk amongst each other and with you about ideas on how to handle the situation or the issue that's being presented to you in every event. So yeah, Greg can continue. And then yes, so there we see Chancellor Boddy Declan. He is there to help advise, as well as Sir Osin Hayward. And I don't know if we should see the Duke maybe. There he is. Duke Donovan Stanton, he is the 3rd advisor. So early on, these are the main NPCs you'll be interacting with when you're going through these events. You will meet some others later on, but in Act 1... Oh, in Act 1, actually, you will meet some other ones you won't see today, but if you play through the beta or watch a stream, you'll see them. So yeah, they will have conversations back and forth, give you some suggestions, and then you'll come to a screen where you have to make a choice based on what they've just told you. This initial choice is to get a bit more information about what that particular advisor was where their area of focus or interest lies. And so the Duke is very interested, of course, in finances and securing the kingdom's wealth. And the Chancellor is a bit more into what the people would want and not so much about the wealth or the nobility. So now Greg has to decide if he liked what the Duke said or if he wants to learn more about what Chancellor or Sir Hayward have to say.
I do like what the Duke said, and I want.
You do like what the Duke said? Yeah, okay, so just so players know, though, you can look at other people's, what they want to say to you, and so you can go through every option, see different perspectives, and then come back and make your final choice. Just so you know, if you've already read through something, chances are when you read through it again, it will sound familiar because you have read through it. So just keep that in mind, but if you've forgotten what something's about, then you'll want to do that. So yeah, once you've made that final decision, which normally is in all gold text, so you'll know it's the final one, then you're going to get an outcome screen, gives you a bit of a description based on the choice you made, and it will also, if available, there'll be a gains and losses section, so that's rewards, penalties. We also have things called edicts and perks, and those would show up there, but don't be despaired if you don't see that section, because a lot of the main arc events, so especially in Act 1, sometimes you won't get a gains and losses section. What's happening, though, is every decision you're making and every choice that you're making, it is influencing the path you will walk on ultimately as you progress through 5. So as you get into Acts 2 and 3 in the early access and full release, that's when you'll see the long-term effects of these choices, and you'll find out if you're walking a path of benevolence or tyranny. So that's all for events right now, but yeah, you'll see them often in Thrive. I think they happen every 2 to 3 days on average, but then there's also random events that come up, and of course, that is all beta based. It's subject to change when we have early access and full release. But yeah, thank you, Greg, for letting me do my narrative spiel there.
I'm gonna get my money now. Yeah. But then yeah, my money just appears in the top left here.
Oh, and the event log too. Maybe this is a good time to show them that as well. So if you want to just revisit what's been happening, I mean, it'll tell you when people come and go in your kingdom, when certain buildings are built or destroyed, and as you can see as well, that event we just did is at the top there. So that's the outcome statement that's there, and if you got any rewards or penalties, it'll be there as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And yeah, like why people either come to town or fires or disease. All the good stuff's kept in your event log. So yeah, I guess back to like fulfilling the needs of my people. They're still looking for, so they built the building, the wood chopper. He does not have enough people here like I was talking about, so I have to move his priority up until I get some more people moving in. And as you can see, they fill the slots here, and people are now working there, and they'll start producing some wood, firewood. And I just need to keep building houses so more people will move in here. Just to increase your population. That's basically key. What's that?
Is it more sporadic now, or is it still kind of like there's a certain time of day I'm going to notice when population moves in or out?
It depends on when the building's complete. So the
Okay.
building has to be complete, obviously. Like nobody's gonna move until it's done, and then certain times of the day, yeah, different amounts of people will move in depending on what needs you fulfilled. So as you can see, there are unoccupied spots in these houses. So the more needs and luxuries I fulfill for these houses, the more they can actually hold. So if I had apples and clothing and cider all ready to go for these people, I would have 4 people moving into one house. But right now, only one person's moving in because I have very little to offer. And different classes obviously have different wants and needs that you're going to have to supply to them and to get them to move in. So I've already got at least one new person moved in. You start with 20 farmers, so I've got up to 21 already. So I just have to let these buildings finish here and for more to be moving in. I can build some apple farms here. I know that's the next thing I'm going to need. I'm going to make a little farming area, actually. That's separate from my town. So I'm going to build a big road that goes all the way out here. I'm going to need a stockpile. Because the stockpile is what you will need the resources to build another building. I'm going to build a food market because I'm going to be making some crops that are food related. And I'm going to build a well it's an early prevention of fires. We have a firehouse that we have added, but if you don't want to build the full firehouse, which does cost more money and has a maintenance cost, the well is a nice way just to have, like, if you only have a few buildings in the area, it can put out small amounts of fire. But if you have a lot of buildings, the well is not what you want to rely on to put out all your fires. Now that they got the stockpile going, I have hemp, which is not a food item, so not a food crop. So I'm going to put that on the side of the stockpile because they'll be delivering to that. The size of the farm will determine how many farmers will work there, plus the output. It does scale, so if you build like a smaller farm, the only benefit to building a bigger farm is, it's just in one spot. So like if you built 2 smaller farms, there might be some overlap where just the amount of farmers won't equal out. So if you wanted to limit your amount of farmers, you'd have to choose kind of the sizes you want to work with in that sense. But I'm going to go for the maximum size here. So I have my apple farm here. And hemp farm on this side. And then I'm going to build an apple farm on this side. And I know apple farms need quite a lot because we use apples in a lot of recipes.
Walgrym surge happened. Uh-oh. Okay, 5 days diseases will have a 30% chance of spreading. You don't have any disease yet, right? So you're okay for that.
Right.
But yeah, I guess I'll let you guys know about the Walgrym surges. So the bar that you saw filling with that purple at the top, that purpley magenta color, so that leads up to Walgrym surges. You can see right now there's a lot of purplish fog that was kind of present there. So that's related to the Walgrym, which you will learn a lot more about while you're playing. But basically, as its presence grows when you're placing buildings and making choices and all of that, that meter will fill. When the meter is full, a surge can occur. Surges, especially earlier on, are more likely to be bad things than good things. However, sometimes good things can happen because unlike where you came from before your character in Aldemore, where things went very bad with the Walgrym, Nissamore has a very different approach and relationship to the Walgrym. So over time, you might see that sometimes the surges aren't necessarily something so bad, but ultimately it's going to depend on how you as a player choose to engage with Nissamore and the people in the world around you. And maybe they'll be more in your favor or less. It'll really depend on your play style and the path you follow. So anyways, I just want to make sure we touched on that while it was there, Greg. Sorry.
Yeah. I was lucky that it came up.
Yeah,
And yeah, I
it's true.
placed on a couple more farms just to show that, yeah, the bar is filling at the top. And if you forget what kind of bonus or negative effect that's happened, it does just appear underneath. So you can review that as well. And the keep here, the first building here, does have the Tome of Knowledge now as well, where you can select different technologies. And as you progress through this, your actual keep will level up and change appearances as well. Don't know if I have enough money to, let's see here. Do I have enough money?
Looks like you're missing something. But
Oh, I got enough for this
Oh,
guy.
you got it? Okay.
Oh, I guess
cool.
the first one's cost, it says right here.
Yeah.
0 right now. 0 coins for these ones. So that's nice. And as you progress through this, like I said, your upkeep will upgrade. It goes past 3. These are just the first 3 that are in the neutral kind of stage of our game. We will have ones that will progress into the benevolent tyrannical stages as well. So I basically got my town. This is pretty much the base of what you're doing. You have your stockpile and food stores. You have houses within the radius. You're making deliveries to those houses, trying to get them happy. More people are moving in. The more people that move in, you unlock more buildings, like just right there. So I have some more buildings now to work with to unlock some more of these luxuries that they're looking for. So for instance, now I can start making planks with the lumber yard here. And as they build these buildings, you'll need more people to be employed at these buildings, so you need more people. So that's kind of the loop we're looking for, is getting more people to move in, more jobs created, more resources needed for those jobs. So.
Yeah, and the planks are going to help you out with buildings for the other class that is part of the beta and the early stages of the game, which we're going to talk to you about in a little bit when we actually move forward into a slightly more advanced version of the kingdom that you're building, so you can see some of the aspects of later play in the beta. So in the Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown beta, you get to experience 2 of the neutral classes in a settlement, and Greg's going to tell us a bit more about these classes, which are farmers and laborers.
Yeah, so I have a city already started here. I'll just take it off pause. I can show you that the farmers have these thatch houses that they make, the farmer houses, and in the UI for the farmer's house, it shows you their unique wants and needs. Some are buildings that they need placed within the area. Some are items that you have to produce yourself. So like, for instance, apples. I have a bunch of apple farms here growing, and they're producing apples that will be delivered to the farmer houses. Over here, I have some laborer houses, which are a little bit more advanced. They're wood, and they have shingles. You can tell they're a little bit more well off. They have a different set of needs and luxuries, and you'll need to produce different goods for them. So as the game goes on, it's similar to what normal society works on. You usually have a bigger population of like the farmer class to build off of, and to do the more menial tasks to build off of and have more resources. I'm just going to go to another province here.
So this is one of the outpost settlements, right?
Different. Yeah, and different areas of the map have different resources. So I know the labor class, they need fish, and there isn't any fish in the initial province. So I'm going to set up a new fishing dock here in this new province next to the water. So you just click on the labor class area that has the buildings that they work in. So I'm going to put a fishing dock right here. And we've added now, I think I don't know if it was in the original devlog, but all the buildings now have like construction animation. So you can see, the workers making them. I'm just going to put a priority on this building so they come right away to start making this and speed up time so you can see this happen. I might even put down another fishing dock. So as we can see, the stockpile, which is this building here, kind of holds the resources that are non-food related, and we have a food market here that holds food related objects. everything gets pushed ahead, so the stockpile people will deliver the materials needed to build to a building, and anything that's produced at a building will be delivered back by that building to the stockpile or the food market, because it will be fish here. So yeah, they're just building up the nice fishing dock there.
Some of the other resources you have to go out of province to collect early on. There's wheat. Is iron early on too? It is, right? Not early on, but it is earlier.
Right, but it's also it doesn't start in your main province. I actually have a event here we can show as well. We've changed the UI for the event, so we have, like, you can see more of the background of the game and what's going on. And as you click through, you can see who's kind of talking to you, which is nice. And you have different options to select, and you just click through and read the dialogue and get all the good juicy story going. And you can always go back if you're never locked into an answer right away. Like if you pick something and you read it and you don't like what they've been saying, you can go back and talk to the other people that have given you advice. So yeah, now I've got the 2 fishing docks here built here. In the top corner, or I guess it's kind of in the middle here, it tells you different classes of people. So I have laborers that will work here. Oh yeah, they're already starting, which is good. Different classes will populate the buildings, and they will work there and produce the goods that you're looking for automatically. And we have a guy stuck on the island here, unfortunately. I'm going to be building him a bridge. But yeah, they're fishing away, and they'll be producing fish that will be delivered to the food market. All resources are shared between similar buildings, so all the food markets share the same resources, and all the stockpiles share the same resources. So the fish will be delivered to this food market, but back at this food market, I also have fish that will be delivered to the laborer houses to keep them happy as well. And like Kat was saying, another resource is like wheat. I have wheat over here growing in this province too that I'm getting traded back, brought back through caravans to this province here, my main province, so I can support my laborer class here with wheat. So yeah, that's going really well. One of the new buildings too, what we just added was the firehouse. So that actually is a better version of the well that will put out fires for our towns. And it makes it more efficient, like getting rid of fires and stuff like that. And it's nice to kind of compartmentalize your town. So I have kind of more of the fields over this area. They're going to be doing all like the farming, and I have some herbs growing here that actually combat disease. We showed in a previous video, along with expansion for different farms like flax and other things like that, just to have more room for a farming area.
It's funny you mentioned the firehouse, and then I saw fires. So it's like perfect.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, came up right
I do
at
have
time.
some good coverage here. It does show you. Yeah, it does show kind of the area where the firehouse is covered. So I do have some decent coverage there. And I can show some more construction of some newer buildings here as well. I was going to put down some military type buildings here. So this is a barracks, and I'm going to put down an armory as well. So those are kind of two of the main military buildings that you'll see. And I'll put a priority on this guy. Oh, he's already getting going. I can do the priority on the armory though, because I can show some construction units. We also have all the walls in the game here. So I can set up even a little wall section here to show. I do that. Is it within? Oh yeah, it is within range.
Yes, there's a lot of variety for it too, right? With the walls and building it, like there's a lot of different types of segments and sizes, so it makes it a little versatile.
Yeah. And one thing with the walls is you do need to put up access points for the walls for them to get up there. It's not just they don't just fly up and get on the walls. So I'll put down one of these pieces here. They have, like, you can see there's a ladder, allows the units to get up and down. And archers will like shoot off the walls, and military units can go on the walls to protect the archers. So, and now, they're still working on this guy here. As soon as they're done the armory, I'll show some units being created.
Oh, might be a good time actually to look at the trading with villages and talking about that a little bit while we're waiting for this to be built. Yeah.
Right. So there are other villages on the map here. I think there's one close by here. Oh yeah, here we go. Just north of my town here. So there are a few around the map. Different towns will kind of specialize in a few different resources that you can trade with. If I zoom out here and you can click on the town. So right now I'm not friendly with them, but they have needs right now. So deliver planks. If I deliver them planks within the next 12 hours, I'll get points to be friendly with them. The more I level up their friendliness, the status can change to, eventually to become aligned with them. But the first kind of tiers, you get trade access when you're friendly, and the higher you get up, you can ask for gold, get gifts of units, and the final one would be an alliance, which then would make them enemy to any enemy that you have. So you would have another kind of military might alongside you, and you can and request them to move their units to attack or defend in areas you would need. You could also declare war on them and fight them as well, which would either take away the alliance from, if you destroy an enemy town, you can make them a non-alliance with, like if another player was aligned with this town and you wanted to stop that, you can destroy the town and they will surrender, and they will then lose all their friendly points to the other towns, and they kind of be reset to like a basic, what they kind of started the game as. And then they'll become more aligned. You can force them to be aligned with you, or ask them for a certain ransom to be, so that you won't destroy them, or you can just wipe them from the map completely.
Ooh, harsh. We got one of the two. We could touch on.
So now I have the armory.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say too, like, because I know it's something else we want to talk about. Is that Tome of Knowledge as well, our version of a tech tree. Yeah.
Right. So I have my keep here. You can select the Tome of Knowledge, which is similar to like a tech tree in our game. As you level up the keep, so I'll just level up one of these right now. I'll do wood chopper bonus, and then you just hover over this, hold it down. So now this will be unlocking. Once you get 2 or more upgrades from this tier, you can unlock this tier, the second tier. And when you unlock these tiers, the keep itself will change its look and will upgrade. So you actually visually see a change in the keep itself, all the way past the benevolent and tyrannical levels as well. So you'll see a
and
big
with the
change
tome,
there.
it gives you different specializations for buildings, that sort of thing, right? That's the intent anyways. I don't know how functional it is right now in the beta, but the intent is that it would give you kind of like a bonus, but then there's always somewhat of a penalty as well to consider, right? So it's an either or.
Right. Yeah. In our game, we always want you to have, decision making. So they're not all as simple as just getting bonuses. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, back to the armory here. We have a unit selected like swordsman. I'll select the archers here just so we can see. I'll put them on the walls. We can make about 10 archers here. Create those. So now actually real people from the town will come and they'll be trained to be archers. So you will be using up the units in your village.
Do they take from any class, or is it only specific classes that get trained? I guess that's a good question.
So I have auto select going right now, and it auto selects the lowest class as default, but you will be able to select different like classes or specific people if you wanted them to. Yeah. So I have my units here, my archer guys.
Yeah, they do their little formations.
Yeah. And if I change the formations, they'll change their setup. Oh. So yeah, they kind of group together in different ways. I'll take one guy here and we'll put him on the wall. So they go up and you can move them along the walls. And they'll move themselves along the walls too if an enemy comes within range. Thanks everyone for checking out the latest devlog for Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown. If you're participating in the beta, we'd love to hear your feedback. And if you have any issue with the game, you can there's a few ways to tell us. One is while playing, hit escape. There's a feedback button in the settings, and that will actually allow you to write us a little note, and it will take a screen cap of what the issue is that you're seeing, and we can get the information that way. The other way is to be on our Discord channel. We have special channels there to give us feedback, and you'll see different titles for different issues. We'd love to hear your comments or feedback or any kind of bugs you find. If you weren't able to join the beta and you'd like to learn more, check out more devlogs when they come, and feel free to see some streamers on YouTube or anywhere they post their videos.
And yeah, as Greg mentioned, we do have an official Discord. So when you're looking for the channel, it's Thrive HLTC. So yes, join us there, whether you're in the beta or if this is your first time really seeing something, you just stumbled across our video, whether it was on Steam or YouTube or somewhere else, and you're curious, please come and join us on Discord. We're always welcoming new members and happy to have you there. And also, if you'd like to support us, please wishlist Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown on Steam and help us get more views, and it'll keep you up to date too on like everything that's coming out with the game. We post devlogs there, and all of the info goes there first. So, well, short of maybe Discord, if you're lucky, sometimes you get little early notification on Discord. But either way, those are the two places you definitely want to be if you're interested in playing Thrive in 2024. And speaking of 2024, it's going to be a big year for us, and we'd love to celebrate that with you. We will have our early access coming in 2024, which we're very excited about. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.